clearest lesson of the 1980s was perhaps the oldest lesson of all, that if you wish for peace, you must be prepared for war. It was a lesson which our leaders forgot in the 1970s, when Western armed forces were scaled down at the very time that the Soviet stockpiles of arms were soaring. And it was a lesson which some of our political opponents at home refused to learn in the 1980s, when strong defenses were the basis for a breakthrough in East-West relations. You recall that when we deployed cruise missiles in response to the Soviet build-up in Europe of the SS-20s, we were told that we would destroy the chances for arms control. But we refused to be intimidated by the then Soviet leadership. And may I pay tremendous tribute to President Reagan in the work he did in rebuilding the defenses of this great nation. We came to power at about the same time, having the same ideals, having the same capability to translate those ideals into practice. But one of the things we both decided upon was that we had better really set out to fight communism with the battle of ideas. But in order to do that, we had first better make clear to the Soviet Union, who are building larger and larger weapons and larger stockpiles of arms, that while we understood that their aim was to dominate the world, either by military means or by threat of military means or subversion, we wished to make it quite clear to them that they would never succeed by military means or by military threat, because we were going to build up our defense forces until we could match them and at any time beat them and see that they did not, could not, and would not win. That was the vital first step to make that clear to them, that the West is determined always to defend liberty and to extend the boundaries of liberty round the whole world. The second very important decision was the one made by President Reagan to embark upon the Strategic Defense Initiative known as Star Wars. That was absolutely crucial to success in our relations with the Soviet Union, because that was the time when they understood at last that they could never match the technology and the research of the West, or the technology and research that we get from a free society through the interplay of debate and discussions, freedom of thought, freedom of action, and all the freedoms we have and the enterprise we have, both to bring forth the new ideas and to build up the military capability to put them into practice. It was an absolutely crucial decision, and he got criticized for it at the time, but it was the one which made the critical difference. So it's only through military strength and not weakness that we can get our own views across, and only through military strength that we can get satisfactory arms control agreements with the Soviet Union. Now, NATO has bound the United States and Western Europe in a defensive alliance in defense of liberty, the effects of whose triumph we continue to witness. It has been brilliantly successful. We have in fact held peace for 45 years, and you do not readily discard an organization that has that record of achievement behind us. Now, I know some will say, do we need the United States in Europe? Yes, the answer is we do, because it provides a degree of stability in security policy which European states individually or collectively could never achieve. and we have such differences among us that we could never get that security or unity without the leadership of the United States. Moreover, Europe could not alone defend the trade routes on which her supply of strategic materials and indeed her survival depend.